My name is Njelle Hamilton. I am an assistant professor of Caribbean literatures in the Woodson and the English department. So my work is on Caribbean literature and popular culture. I'm working on a book now called Phonographic Memories, and I'm investigating the relationship between popular music and memory and the influence of popular music forms like reggae and guoka and calypso on the novel. And so I'm thinking about how Caribbean migrants to the US and the UK and Canada, how they turn to these popular music forms to remember their past and to reconnect with their national identities. So I usually teach courses both in English and Woodson, and so I teach courses on Caribbean literature and African literature and popular culture. Last semester I taught a class on reggae and literature. This semester I'm teaching a class on African women writers, and another class, a brand new one, on Afrofuturism. And so, as you can see, my teaching is interested in narrative theory, African diaspora culture, African diaspora literature. I'm really invested in sort of promoting and validating Caribbean African diaspora arts and culture. When we think of the canon, we often think of British and more recently American literature. We think of literature, we think of the book, and books written in a certain way. And so my research and teaching are really invested in thinking about what does literature look like. Does it have to be a book? Can Bob Marley's lyrics be considered poetry? Can popular culture be the site of serious scholarship and serious research? And so I want students to be able to kind of open up in their thinking what the canon looks like, what literature looks like, but also to be able to find themselves in literature and culture. And so I'm very much interested in sort of issues of race, issues of social justice, and how literature and popular culture helps young people kind of deal with some of the things that they're dealing with in their personal lives. No, I think that African diaspora studies and African studies major in these times are really important and still important, even though students and their parents and society really always ask the question, what you going to do with that? How is this going to lead to an outcome, right? How are you going to get a job? And I think those are valid questions, but I often like to ask the question a different way. What can you not do with that, right? What is not valid about learning histories that have been erased from history, learning about literatures and cultures and peoples that have not been talked about or have not been studied or have not been given a place or a voice in the academy? And so for me, it's kind of self-evident when you ask it that way, right? That learning about African diaspora peoples, their histories and their futures has a broad appeal to any field one might enter afterwards. And so I think that is what I want students to take away, that they're not learning about a job or a career, they're learning for life. They're learning about themselves, perhaps. They're learning about their neighbors and their friends. They're learning about their own history, and in important ways, perhaps also learning about their future. And so I want to kind of broaden the question of value to something more than employment and jobs and career.